The Hunger Games: Catching Fire, second part of the popular movie series starring Jennifer Lawrence, joined by Josh Hutcherson, Woody Harrelson, Donald Sutherland, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Elizabeth Banks, Jenna Malone, and Jeffrey Wright. The film starts about a year after the events of the original. Katniss and Peeta are the celebrated winners of the latest Hunger Games, paraded around the districts on a victory tour. But even though Katniss is just trying to survive and live a peaceful life, she realizes that she's becoming something of a symbol for a slowly starting rebellion, which puts her in the crosshairs of President Snow, who wants to maintain order and therefore intends to silence or even remove Katniss from the board. Eventually, by revealing the rules of the upcoming Quarter Quell, which is a special edition of the Hunger Games that takes place every 25 years. Well, this time around, the participants will be recruited from all the previous winners, regardless of age, which means Katniss automatically qualifies, automatically goes in as the sole alive female winner from District 12 and has to relive the nightmare all over again. So I like the original Hunger Games, and I like this sequel even more. I think that the first 20 minutes especially are just brilliant because they largely take the established premise of the first film, which, yeah, was a bit dystopian and certainly had hints of darkness, strong hints even, but was largely typical of young adult hero journey stories. And the first 20 minutes of Catching Fire take that premise and completely deconstruct it by showing us the fallout of the so-called victory, how the hero is suffering from PTSD, how the romance part was actually completely manufactured for the cameras, how she still isn't free and has to navigate being constantly in the spotlight. On the one hand, trying not to offend the powers that be, on the other, being used as a symbol of rebellion that she essentially has nothing to do with. The realization that she's a pawn in a larger game without having, without being aware of it previously. That first chapter of the movie has an excellent tone and is really kind of unnerving and engaging at the same time. What follows later is not quite at the same level of excellence, admittedly, but still a very competent movie. And then for the final act, it once again gets up there in terms of quality. I was really hooked towards the end. I think Jennifer Lawrence is solid, although she has questionable chemistry with her male co-leads, but she's all right. So is the supporting cast. I like most of the visuals, with the exception maybe of the CGI fog and CGI monkeys during the games at the arena. I think those look kind of questionable. In general, though, I thought it's an excellent sequel that doesn't lazily retread the same ground, but actually has something interesting to say. Things that recontextualize the story and even make the original film better in retrospect. I'm excited for the next two movies now because this was pretty great.